Live from New Delhi, you're watching DD India, India's voice to the world. This is Sports Buzz with me, Deepika, and coming up in the next half an hour. Unbeaten Team India faces South Korea at the semi-finals of Asian Champions Trophy in China. Olympics bronze medalist eyes final spot with an aim to beat surprising South Korea at the event. Trial of the century underway as Man City faces trial on 115 charges levied by English Premier League. Quantum of punishment can range from points deduction to team disqualification. An Ireland women's cricket team beat England, registering historic T20I victory while chasing highest run target. Orla Prendergast's top scored as match drew at 1-1. So those were the top headlines of the hour that we are tracing for all our viewers here on Sports Buzz. And to begin with all the action from hockey turfs. The battle lines are drawn for the penultimate fight for the Asian Champions Trophy. The team India is now facing South Korea in the second semi-final at the ongoing tournament. Defending champion India is the only unbeaten team in the tournament so far. Now having defeated China by 3-0, Japan by 5-1, Malaysia by 8-1, Korea by 3-1 and Pakistan by 2-1. The reigning Asian Games gold medalist is upbeat for this Korea clash which is underway right now. In another match today, host China stunned Pakistan in a thrilling semi-final encounter to secure their maiden berth in the Asian Champions Trophy finale. China opened the scoring in the second quarter and Pakistan got one back in the third one. China started well, but Pakistan dominated the game. The final score, though, stayed at 1-1, resulting into a shootout. China scored in the first two chances, but eventually failed in the next two. However, Pakistan failed to score in all four attempts they got. Hence, the hosts secured the victory and advanced to the finals. The goalkeeper, Wang Taiyu, emerged as the hero for China for blocking every shot in the shootout. On to cricket now. In women's T20 international cricket, Team Ireland recorded historic victory by defeating England for the first time to win the match by 5 wickets. Not only this, Ireland also recorded their highest run chase for the match. Here's more. In a historic victory, Ireland women beat England, registering their first ever T20 international victory against England on Sunday, the 15th September, on the grounds of Dublin. If you talk about Ireland's historic victory, Orla Prendergast start with bat and ball as Ireland recorded a 5-wicket victory to beat England for the second time in 5 days and draw the T20I series to 1-1. Ireland's highest successful run chase in a T20 was built on two partnerships. The first of 79 with skipper Gaby Lewis and Prendergast, who made 38 from 35 balls, and another of Prendergast 82 for the third wicket with Leigh Paul, who was 27 not out when the win was sealed with a ball to spare. Prendergast, who's bound for Australia this autumn with the Adelaide Strikers in the Big Bash, also showcased her swing bowling skills with 2 for 31 from 4 overs. Speaking on this historic victory, Orla's teammates showered her with a lot of praise and the entire team beamed with a lot of confidence. Ireland all-rounder Orla Prendergast said, "I knew if I got myself and got a start, I would convert and accelerate towards the back end. It was our last game of the summer. To put in a really good performance to finish to show how good a side we are was what motivated us." Whereas Ireland captain Gaby Lewis said, "I'm so proud of the girls. It shows the maturity of Orla with that innings. She's such a world-class player." While Team Ireland celebrated their victory with great fervour, there's a lot to ponder for Team England as they draw against Ireland in T20I series in Dublin. Sports Desk, DD India. In men's cricket, the third T20 international between England and Australia at Old Trafford was abandoned due to persistent rain without a ball being bowled as the series ended at 1-1. With rain falling for several hours in Manchester on Sunday morning, both the toss and the match itself were put on hold because deep puddles forming on the covers protecting the pitch and the square. Now, the three-match series finished level at 1-1 after Liam Livingstone's 87 helped England win the second T20 in Cardiff on Friday, following Australia's commanding 28-run success at Southampton. The England and Wales cricket board said on Sunday that Harry Brook has been named as the England captain for the upcoming ODI series against Australia, with its white ball skipper Jos Buttler ruled out of the series with a calf injury. Brook made his ODI debut against South Africa in January last year and has played 14 more matches since and scoring 407 runs. However, he has only 4 40-plus scores on ODI so far and last featured for the Three Lions against the West Indies, which was back in the year 2023 in the month of December. Meanwhile, Jos Buttler also missed the ongoing three-match T20I series against Australia due to the same injury. The ECB also added that Josh Hull was out of the series with a quad injury, with all-rounder Liam Livingstone replacing him in the squad. The first ODI of the 5-match series will take place on Thursday at Trent Bridge. Sri Lanka recalled top-order batsman Oshada Fernando to their 16-member squad, which was announced earlier, for their 2-test series against New Zealand, while Nishan Madhushaka was left out. Fernando last played for the Test team against New Zealand in March 2023, but forced his way back after a strong showing for the Sri Lanka A side. Opener Madhushka entered a tough time in Sri Lanka's 2-1 Test series defeat in England, managing only 25 runs in 4 innings. Sri Lanka left out bowlers Kasun Rachita and Nisala Tharaka and brought in wicketkeeper batsman Sadira Samara Vikrama. The first match will begin on Wednesday. Sri Lanka's Sunit Villalage, whose all-round brilliance against India helped him win the ICC Men's Player of the Month award for the August month 2024. The 21-year-old overcame competition from South Africa's Keshav Maharaj and West Indies' Jayden Seales to secure the award. Villalage made his strides in his nascent international career in the month of August. He, with 108 runs and 7 wickets, helped Sri Lanka overcome the India challenge in the ODI series. Now, Sri Lanka overcame India for the first time in a bilateral series since 1997. So, Sri Lanka's Harshita Madhavi overcame competition from the Irish duo of Orla Prendergast and Gaby Lewis to win the ICC Women's Player of the Month for August. The talented left-handed top-order batter has gone from strength to strength in recent months and continued her stirring performance in August against Ireland. Now, this is also the third Women's Award for Ireland nation in this current year. Double Olympic medalist, javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra revealed that he participated in the Diamonds League season finale with a hand injury that he sustained during a training session. Neeraj narrowly missed the Diamonds League title by just 1 centimetre in Brussels. Here's more.
India's double Olympic medalist and javelin thrower Neeraj Chopra narrowly missed winning the Diamond League title by just 1 centimetre at King Vaudois Stadium in Brussels. Neeraj's best attempt of 87.86 metre was just 1 centimetre short of Grenada's Anders Peterson's winning throw of 87.87 metres. Peter, a two-time world champion, set the winning mark with his opening throw. Julian Bieber of Germany secured third place with a throw of 85.97 metres. Later on Sunday, Neeraj Chopra revealed on social media platform X that he had competed in the Diamond League final with a fractured left hand. He shared an X-ray image showing a fracture of the ring finger in his left hand. Throughout the final, Neeraj appeared concerned after many of his throws seemed to be refraining from pushing himself too hard. On Monday, I injured myself in practice and X-ray showed that I had fractured the 4th metacarpal in my left hand. It was another painful challenge for me. But with the help of my team, I was able to participate in Brussels. This was the last competition of the year and I wanted to finish my season on the track. While I couldn't meet my own expectation, I feel this season taught me a lot. This marks the second year in a row that Neeraj Chopra has finished as runner-up in the prestigious Diamond League final. In 2023, India's javelin star fell short of defending his Diamond Trophy, losing to Czech Republic's Jakub Veldech. Despite the injury and challenges, Chopra concluded his season on a positive note and expressed his determination to come back stronger next year. Sports Desk, DD India.
Moving on to chess now. Indian men's and women's team continued their impressive run as India posted victories at the 5th round of Chess Olympiad in Budapest. The second-seeded Indian men defeated Azerbaijan by 3-1 to maintain their unbeaten record. The 5th round saw Arjun Erigaisi, India's highest-ranked player, registering his 5th victory in a row. The world number 4 beat Rauf Mamedov on the 3rd board. And on the top board, D. Gukesh defeated Aidan Suleimanli. But on the 2nd and the 4th board, R. Pragnananda and Vidit Gujarati had to be content with the draw. Meanwhile, Indian women overcame Kazakhstan by 2.5 to 1.5 as Dronavali Harika defeated on the top board Bebisara Asubeyava. Was a setback as she got defeated for the top seed, but the other women turned things around. On the second board, R. Vaishali scored a crucial victory against Merurat Karmeli Donova. The third board saw Divya Deshmukh being held by Zineya Balabieva. After winning her last 4 games in a row, it was the first draw for the reigning World Junior Girls Champion. 6 rounds are still remaining to be played in the tournament. Let's move on to tennis courts now. Former world number 1 Novak Djokovic teamed up with doubles partner Hamid Medvedev on Sunday to seal a 3-0 playoff victory over Greece to keep Serbia in World Group 1 of the Davis Cup. The 37-year-old is playing his first competitive tennis since losing in the 3rd round of the US Open. Djokovic and his 21-year-old teammate won by 6-3, 3-6 and 6-3 against Aristolosis Thanos and Petros Tsitsipas, the younger brother of Stefanos Tsitsipas, who had to withdraw. And now in Sports Buzz, it's time to get you all the latest from the world of soccer. Now, Gabriel Magalhaes scored the only goal in the second half from a Bukayo Saka corner as Arsenal won 1-0 in the second half against Tottenham in the North London derby at the Premier League. This made it 3 successive away victories against Tottenham for the first time since the 1987-88 season. The first half was goalless, where the highlight was a big fight between the two sides after a foul by Jurrien Timber on Pedro Porro. The match also made the record for the most yellow cards in a first half at a match at Premier League's history. Arsenal's growing capacity to win without being at its best could prove the difference as it now attempts to finally overhaul Premier League champion Manchester City. On the other hand, Newcastle United fought back from a half-time deficit with the 2 long-range strikes in the space of 5 minutes to beat Wolverhampton Wanderers by 2-1 and move on to 3rd place of the Premier League's tables point. Now, there might have been an element of fortune about Shaw's 75th minute goal, but there was no luck involved as Harvey Barnes thrashed home a spectacular winner 5 minutes later. The visitors began the encounter strongly and saw Anthony Gordon speed down the left flank before hitting the upright with an effort from a tight angle in the 24th minute. Newcastle advanced to 10 points behind second-placed Arsenal on goal difference and 2 behind Manchester City. Wolves remain in the bottom 3 with a single point from their opening 4 fixtures of the campaign. Now, Manchester City are currently hearing for over 115 charges for financial breaches in English Premier League in what is now dubbed as the trial of the century. The punishment could also mean that Man City may have to bow out of the EPL midway. Our next report takes you through a detailed scenario of this case. Take a look. Called as the trial of the century, the hearing into Manchester City's charges for allegedly breaking Premier League financial rules is officially on. The reigning champions, Manchester City, were charged and referred to an independent commission in February 2023 after a 4-year investigation. City were hit with 115 charges, with the alleged offences said to have taken place between 2009 and 2018. While a decision is unlikely to be made until next year, it is expected that the decision can arrive before the end of the current season. But what are the charges? Well, the Premier League have accused Man City of breaking the rules over 9 seasons by allegedly failing to provide accurate financial information. Allegedly, they did not fully disclose the financial remunerations that were made to one of their managers over a 4-year period. The Premier League also alleged that City failed to comply with UEFA's financial fair play rules over a period of 5 years. City have also been accused of failing to fully cooperate with the Premier League's investigation into their financial standings. They have strenuously denied any wrongdoing. What could this actually mean for Man City when we talk about the quantum of punishment? Well, a range of punishments would be on the cards if City are found guilty by the independent panel. They could be docked points, given a limitless fine, or even kicked out of the Premier League, possibly in the middle of the season, but this would be an extreme punishment. A decision is unlikely to be made until next year, though it is expected to arrive before the end of the current season, but Guardiola says that he hopes it to end soon.
Hopefully finish soon. Independent panel will decide, and looking forward for the decision.
A guilty verdict could also bring to an end Pep Guardiola's glorious reign at the Etihad. However, fans are looking forward to a positive response as the trial continues for at least 10 weeks at a confidential location. Deepika Mehta's report for DD India. And on this, football law and finance expert says it might be difficult for the panel to find the English champions guilty of the most serious breaches. Take a listen.
It will be very difficult for an independent commission to make a finding of fraud against the sorts of individuals who were involved, both in relation to Manchester City, but also the third parties involved. And proving that in this forum, I think, will be a challenge. So that will be the hurdle, that the Premier League has set itself up with a very high bar, and accordingly, to succeed on the most serious matters, are going to effectively have to say that City have created false accounts for the best part of a decade. And that will be clearly a very, very difficult call for any independent commission to make in a forum of this nature. But if they do, clearly the consequences are very serious for Manchester City.
All right, it's now time to take a short break on Sports Plus, but still to come on the other side. Oscar Piastri clinches victory at Azerbaijan Grand Prix. McLaren moves to top of Constructors' Championship. Alexi Marinov sets new free dive world record with astonishing 125 meters plunge into the Mediterranean Sea. Welcome back after that short break. It's now time to get you more from soccer. Atletico Madrid cruised to a convincing 3-home victory over bottom side Valencia in La Liga, and thanks to goal from Conor Gallagher, Antonio Griezmann and Julian Alvarez. Atletico took the lead in the 39th minute when new signing Gallagher finished into the bottom corner. Valencia fought hard for an equalizer with Xavi Guerra's long-range effort going wide. Another new recruit, Alvarez, put the icing on the cake with his first goal in the Spanish top flight after joining from Manchester City when he slotted home Rodrigo's cross in the 93rd minute. Atletico moved into second place 11 on 11 points with Real Madrid and 4 behind leaders Barcelona. They face RB Leipzig in the Champions League on Thursday. And Barcelona's Lamine Yamal struck twice in the first half to help deliver a commanding 4-1 victory at Girona that extended their perfect start to the La Liga season with a fifth consecutive victory. Yamal gave Barcelona a 2-goal lead with strikes in the 30th and 37th minute, while Dani Olmo extended their advantage right after the break with a first-time effort from close range. Pedri scored the fourth with a tap-in in the 64th minute, while Girona substitute Christian Stuani netted a consolation goal in the 80th minute, 6 minutes before Barcelona were reduced to 10 men when forward Ferran Torres was given a straight red card for a nasty starts-up challenge on Yezer Asprilla. Moving on to F1 now. Oscar Piastri clinched victory at Azerbaijan Grand Prix, narrowly beating Charles Leclerc to the checkered flag in a race-long multi-car battle in Baku. Piastri trailed Leclerc in the early stages of 51-lap encounter but overtook him shortly in the 20th lap. Drama ensued at the start of the penultimate lap as Sergio Perez and Carlos Sainz dramatically crashed out, ending their afternoons in the concrete wall. Indian Formula 2 driver Kushmaini suffered a horrific crash at the Azerbaijan Grand Prix F2 feature race in Baku. Kush featured the accident after his car failed to start properly. With his car stalled at the start of the race itself, a lot of cars managed to evade Maini before he was slammed into by a car from behind, causing a huge crash. Fortunately, everyone involved in the accident, including Maini, survived the crash and walked away safe. Maini has been penalised by the FIA as he's been handed 2 post-race sanctions. Maini's car allegedly breached the F2 regulations that specify the failure to engage the starter procedure at the feature race's beginning. Moving on, with an astonishing free dive of 125 meters into the depths of the Mediterranean Sea, Alexi Marinov set a new world record on Sunday at the AIDA Freediving World Championships. Diving in the constant weight bin fins category, the Russian freediver broke his own world record, which he had set back in the year 2023 by just 1 meter. Meanwhile, Mariana was the overall winner in the women's competition for the 3rd time in a row. In men's category, it was Croatia's Peter Klova who took the overall victory after he won gold in free immersion discipline with a 127-meter dive and bronze in constant weight bifins.
Very happy with this bifin dive. It's 125 meters. My previous world record was 124, and it was last year. This year, it's my first world record, and it's a late season overall. Like usually, I would start to do some deeper dives earlier in the season. Now it's already September, and I was focused more on the no fins discipline before, but now I'm happy to do some really deep dives with bifins, and it felt great. It felt a bit cold. Thermocline was much higher this time, and it was much colder than the previous days. So I think this cold and darkness was the main challenge today.
Now, Poland's Magdalena capped off a solid summer, climbing up the WTA rankings with the first tour title on Sunday at the Guadalajara Open. Now, it is the latest big moment in a breakthrough season for the 43rd ranked player from Poland. The 5th seed overcame Australian qualifier Olivia by 7-6 and 6-4 in the finals of the ATP 500 hardcourt event. She reached her first singles final in the clay court tournament in Prague last month and then reached her first hardcourt quarterfinal in Monterrey before going all the way to her first hardcourt final in 500 level event. And that's all for this edition of DD India Sports Buzz. But do let us know your thoughts on the news of the day. For those on the go, you can get all the latest news and updates from the country and the world on DD India mobile app. The app is available on both Android and iOS platforms. Scan the QR code on the screen to download it right now. We'll be back with more news as it breaks here on DD India. I'm Deepika Mehto, and from all of us here in New Delhi, thank you so much for watching Sports Buzz.